Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. And Brian Baca had mentioned last night in the comments that Jesse Waters was going to have on a guest from Vegas, a talk radio guy, Wayne Allyn Root. And he listens to him, I think. And he had mentioned that Wayne Allyn Root was discussing a new angle on the talk radio show, I guess Friday, and I hadn't heard anything like it before. And I don't, these are all just kind of theories and possibilities. It's nothing. It's not fact or anything like that. But you know what? We'll watch the Jesse Waters program, which I just taped, and then we'll discuss it a little bit after we see what he's got to say. All right, so go check it out.
Months since Stephen Paddock opened fire on the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival in Las Vegas, killing 58 people and injuring more than 700 others before killing himself. And still, so many questions. Joining me now with his theories, radio talk show host Wayne Allyn Root. All right, this is kind of a conspiracy theory segment only because, Wayne, we haven't gotten any information from the authorities. So the first thing I wanted to ask you about was the security guard. I mean, this makes no sense. What are you thinking about this individual?
Well, first of all, nothing makes sense, Jesse, when you realize that Parkland shooting, it was in the news day and night. We heard everything about Nicholas Cruz, his history, his background, the 2 terror attacks by ISIS in New York City that came right after the Vegas attack. We knew everything about it. San Bernardino. You name the attack, whether it's terror or just a man ban.
But the security guard in question, I mean, this guy's going on Ellen. He's driving to Mexico. I mean, he was witness to the biggest mass shooting ever. What's going on?
I don't know. No one seems to know anything about him. He was a ghost. He was never heard of before. You know, my radio show's the #1 show in Vegas. I get all the MGM executives calling me off the air to give me hints. They all say they never heard of Jesus Campos in their entire life until his name came up, which they thought was unusual. No one could believe he was allowed to leave the country within a couple of days of being shot. If he was shot and they claimed it was serious, how do you drive from Vegas to Mexico? Now you add in the Ellen appearance. This is the worst mass shooting in the history of America. The only media appearance he will ever make in his entire lifetime, as announced by Ellen, is on a comedian show, and she happens to be a comedian.
And no one's even trying to track this guy down and ask him any questions. And we're seeing information he may not have even been registered as a security guard at the hotel. The girlfriend fascinates me. I still don't get this. She's overseas. The shooter's wiring her thousands of dollars in cash. And she deletes her Facebook account before anybody even knows it was her boyfriend that did the shooting. What do you think about her?
I even want to get in one more point about the Ellen appearance by Jesus Campos, the security guard, real quick. Ellen has a deal with MGM. She has Ellen slot machines at MGM casinos. They picked a comedian they're in business with to do the only serious interview ever with the only witness to the worst mass shooting.
MGM's definitely, I think, defensive about the whole thing because they're looking at a lot of legal liability. But the girlfriend, I mean, no one's even talked to her from the press. Is that true?
Yes, Marilou Danley, lots of issues, lots of questions. Philippines, why does she happen to be overseas at the moment he does this? The Philippines, by the way, happens to be a hotbed for Islamic terrorism. Just another interesting tidbit to add to the questions. She deletes her Facebook page an hour after the attack begins when his name had not been announced to the public. How did she know to delete her Facebook page?
It makes
then she announces to the police
no sense.
Her fingerprints, she announces, may be on the ammunition, and yet she's not a suspect. Strange, right?
Very strange.
Beyond belief strange.
Also strange, Wayne, where's the video? We haven't seen any video of the shooter going in and out of the hotel. I mean, there's security cameras everywhere in Vegas, on the Strip, within the hotels. Why haven't we seen any video? Real quick.
Yeah, again, even the Seth Rich murder, we saw video. There's no video here. Why? In a casino, every inch is on video. There's nothing there. Jesse, this is nothing but mystery upon mystery upon mystery. How about what I mentioned to you with the police here? The investigation was not given to homicide. It was given to the Division of Police that handle accidental police shootings. Unheard of. No one could figure out what is going on.
You'd throw that off to that department. And also, they're not even able to give us the information that were on the hard drives that they seized or the cell phones. They said there may be child porn that they found on there, but at the same time, they weren't able to get inside the hard drives. Listen, Wayne, I don't understand anything. This makes no sense to me. I'm just waiting for more information. But again, thanks for coming on and letting us know what you think.
Take care.
Up next, last call.
All right. So, a lot of that was review of what's kind of been out there. And I didn't hear a whole lot of new stuff, I must say, And I like Jesse Waters a lot. He's probably one of my favorite persons on Fox. He's from Philadelphia, actually, from Bucks County, which is kind of up 95, a little north of Philadelphia, outside. But... Brian had said, and this is what I really wanted to hear about. I really did. I was interested to hear something new. Brian had said that he heard on Wayne Allyn Root's radio show on Friday that, he said he brought up an interesting angle to the Vegas blank show. He said that MGM does not, and he's talking about Wayne Allyn Root, and again, these things are just theories and possibilities. He said MGM does not have insurance to cover terrorist attacks. It's a separate insurance rider that is very expensive. However, if this gets officially ruled as their narrative that Paddock was the lone gunman, that would be covered in their insurance policy. And I just have no idea. I don't know what their insurance policy is and whether they had terrorism covered or not. I would have thought they would have. In fact, I kind of early on almost thought they were hoping it would be because that would be covered by insurance, and something like a homicidal maniac like Paddock might not be. I almost had it reversed. So, but that really didn't get discussed. It didn't get brought up. I guess on a national TV show, it's harder to bring something up like that, possibly. Anyways, well, you know what? I actually found the Wayne Allyn Root radio program that Brian Baca was referring to, and here's the audio. Here's just a little portion of it. He's speaking to a guy named Brian Claypool, who's actually a survivor of he was at the Route 91 concert, Harvest Music Festival concert, October 1st, and he's also an attorney representing about 50 other victims, but he himself was at the concert, and they're discussing, the concept that Brian Baca just kind of brought up in the comments about MGM possibly not having some insurance rider that would cover terrorism, And I, to be honest with you, well, you know what? I'll give you my thoughts after we play it, and hopefully you can hear it. We'll see.
Just wanted to finish up that last little mini section we were on, where I just threw out the idea that there's an insurance policy that's worth $1 billion or $2 billion in losses in these lawsuits for MGM, and perhaps, a terror attack is not covered under that lawsuit. I've spoken to friends in the insurance business who tell me it's a totally separate rider, and not everybody takes it. And if you take it, you have to spend a tremendous amount of money, and a lot of CEOs are looking to save money. And it's just, nobody's told me this. This is just my gut instinct. But the CEO of MGM, I think, is an idiot. And I believe he's always looking to save money because he likes his own $10 and $20 million bonuses at the end of the year. So he savaged the security budget of the hotel. And maybe, just maybe, he didn't take the terrorism rider on the insurance policy. So it was very important for him to make sure the police ruled this a non-terrorist incident, just a madman and a bad guy, Stephen Paddock. No terrorism involved, so he would get the $1 billion or $2 billion payoff. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you're absolutely brilliant. I spoke to a woman 2 nights ago, and she has close contacts within MGM, and that was the script that she was learning through the MGM as well. Imagine, Wayne, less than one day after the shooting, Lombardo was out there proclaiming this is not a terror attack, and that's what this woman learned internally as well. I've got credible sources that are corroborating what you're saying, that's why they are saying this is not terrorist attack, because the CEO did not procure adequate terror insurance. And another quick point that you just hit on is perfect.
It was just a guess. Let me tell you, I've got a wealth of information for you. You should see what I sent Jesse Waters of Waters World for my Saturday night appearance. I sent him like 30 pages of my notes as to what's wrong with this entire investigation.
All right, so you know, they didn't discuss that on the Jesse Waters show, and maybe, you know, their producers said, no way, I don't know, I have no idea. But I would have actually, I still think it might have been, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, they have sources. I would have thought it would have been the other way around. I really would have thought, you know, because of this situation, which is so unusual and, you know, is 1 in a million, or of somebody shooting out windows and firing down on the concert, that there's less likelihood of having insurance that would cover that than, you know, covering a terrorist incident, which in today's age is actually, it's not a common event, but that's why you would have insurance for it, because the likelihood, the probability of it happening is high enough that you need insurance for it. But having insurance for some incident like this that's just completely outside of the, you know, is just a complete outlier, and it's a 1 in 100-year event almost. You know, it's so unusual, you wouldn't have insurance for that. So my thinking was completely opposite of what they're suggesting there, but it's just my thinking and it's just my guess. I have no idea. All right. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video, man. Later.